Now moving on to chapter 4, we're going to talk about managing marketing information. As we all know, now it's the era of data, not any data, but like big data. That means that we have access to a lot of data. Sometimes it's more than enough. And what's more important now is how to use those data to enhance marketing strategy and to improve customer relationship. And it's not like how to collect data, how to get information from customer. We're no longer there. We finished that period. Now entering a new period, we face big opportunities with these big data and also challenges when it comes to having so much data.
So the next part is managing marketing information. First of all, customer insights team that means collect data from customers and then come up with specific advertising and production strategies. For example, what almost so popular. The common belief of mother is that they want the children to develop well, but they are afraid of stands, and Omo creates campaigns that is good. With the message is that children can freely play because Omo can manage all the stands. So the next part is assessing marketing information needs. MIS provides information to the company's marketing and other managers and external business such as buyers, resellers, and marketing service agencies. And a good marketing information system that should balance the information users, what they would like to have, what they really need, and what is feasible to offer. The MIS must monitor the marketing environment to provide decision makers with information and insights. They should have to make key marketing decisions. And the issues that managers should consider is that first, the amount of information is that too large or too small. Second is the availability of information. And lastly is the cost.
Okay, so after identifying the information that we need for our decision, so we have to develop a market information. Marketers can obtain their information from 3 resources. First one is internal data, second is the marketing intelligence, and the last one is marketing research. So internal database is a company's private information system about customer information and current market trends. Internal database can be accessed quickly and cheaply, and it also in a better security, which may be very difficult for the external people to access. Therefore, it will bring competitive advantage for the users. For example, the company can use their own sales data to decide the effective strategies of selling which products in order to have the highest profits. However, this kind of information still has some problem. The first one is incompletion and mistake, and also data. This type of data age very quickly. Yeah, so now we move to competitive marketing intelligence. So what is competitive marketing intelligence? It is a process of gathering, analyzing, and using the information collected on the competitors, customer, and other market factors that can contribute to a business competitive advantage. So it is important. The competitive marketing intelligence is really important because it helps business to understand their competitive environment and their opportunity, also the challenge it presents. A good marketing intelligence can help marketers gain insight into what their customer wants and needs are, and how customer engage with their brands. So with the growth of marketing intelligence, also drives ethical issues, as some companies they snoop others for useful information instead of using their internal data or publicly available information. Yeah.
So the next part, we will come with the marketing research. So the very first mission is to define problems. So marketing managers and researchers must work together closely to define problems and agree on research objectives. There are 3 types of research objectives. The first one is the objective of exploratory research, which means they formulate problems, clarify concepts, and form hypotheses. The second type is the objective of descriptive research, which basically describe the phenomenon, and in order to answer the what, where, when, and how questions. And the why questions is for the objective of casual research. The next thing is the research plans. After we define the problems and the research objective, we come in with a research plan in order to collect the needed information effectively. So basically, there are 2 types of data that we need to collect. The secondary data, which means a data that already be somewhere, and we just gather it from the source. And the second type is the primary data, which means the data that you have to make by yourself in order to, for your specific purpose of the research. In the research plan, the proposal is extremely important, especially for the large and complex research, in order to prevent the outside company to take advantage of them. And we're coming next with the gathering information, gathering secondary data. So secondary data can be gained from various sources, like the internal database, other companies, commercial online database, and free source, like from the governments, from internet, and newspaper. So the secondary data can usually be obtained more quickly and at a lower cost than primary data. However, secondary sources can sometimes provide data that the company cannot collect on its own. And researcher can rarely obtain of the data they need from the secondary sources, since every research have different purpose and every corporation is different to each other.
So we're going to talk about the next part is research approaches. It has 4 types. So we're going to talk the first one is observational research. It's been gathering primary data by observing relevant people, actions, and situations. And researchers often observe consumer behavior to glean customer insights they can obtain by simply asking customer questions. The second is ethnographic research. It means that you watch and interact with consumer in their natural environment to understand them more clearly. The third one is survey research. This means that you're gathering primary data by asking people questions about their knowledge, about their understanding, about their attitudes, about their reference or buying behaviors. Finally, experimental research. This means that you're gathering primary data by selecting market groups of subjects, giving them different treatment and controlling related factors, and checking for differences in group response. So we're going to talk about the next type of collection is contact methods, which information can be collected by mail, telephone, interviewing, personal interviewing, or online. So we're going to talk about the online marketing research. This means you collect data by internet or by mobile survey. And next one is online behavioral and social checking and targeting. First, checking customers online means you scanning customer reviewers and comments. Secondly, listening to and engaging customers can provide valuable insights into what consumers are saying or feeling about a brand. Finally, behavioral targeting is using online data to get ads and offers to specific consumers. And the next type of question is sampling blend. Is a segment of the population selected for marketing research to present the population as a whole. And the next type of collection is research instrument. Have two types. Is questionnaires and mechanical instrument to monitor consumer behavior. EEG in MIR to check brand electrical activity to learn how customer feel and respond. So the next part is implementing the research plan. It means that you are collecting, processing, and analyzing the information, and the researchers should process and analyze the collected data to isolate the information, important information, and insights, and data needs to be caught for analyzed and checked for accuracy and completeness. So the next part is interpreting and reporting the findings. Researchers should interpret the findings, draw conclusions, and report them to management. And the marketing manager should know more about the problem and the decision that must be made. Finally, the managers and researchers must work together closely when integrating research resources, and both must share responsibility for the research and resulting decisions.
Okay, so after we collect all of the data, have more data than we needed, it comes to analyzing and distributing these data. Okay, the first term that we all need to know is customer relationship management. In short, it's CRM. This is the process of using those information, those data to better improve the customer relationship and experience with the company. These data really help us have a 360 view of these customers, and together as a company, we can use this data to work together and make our company grow. Okay, then it's marketing analytic, which means that with these information, we have to dig deep and find the valuable and the meaningful data so that we can use it in our marketing strategies, for example. And I have two examples here. One is Netflix and one is TikTok. We all know that Netflix have a section where it recommends movie for us. And based on the movie that we recently watched and what we're interested in, Netflix never fails to suggest us that the movies that are really eye-catching and are just amazing how they can do that. The same goes for TikTok. They have their own For You page that customize the feed based on the video you like, how long you stay on videos. And to me, that's very impressive. But even though that companies then can do this, it's not uncommon for a company to miss the bigger picture. If the company doesn't know how to use this data well enough, those data means nothing. So it's very important for companies to keep in mind that, be aware of the purpose of having these data and focus on that. And then it's after we analyze this information, it's time to distribute these information for people inside the company through intranet and people outside the company, like supplier, through the extranet. The company is suggested to have routine and non-routine information. Routine means like monthly or weekly or like yearly report, which help the company grow in the long term. And non-routine is like up on the spot. For example, a salesman need information about his customer to serve him the best. Then you should be able to access to that information so he can deliver the best experience to her.
Conducting a marketing research can be quite costly, and this is a huge challenge for both the small businesses and non-profit organizations. However, they can still make good use of collecting secondary data, doing simple observations, or basic surveys and experiments. Sometimes this is all they ever need. Next, we're going to discuss about the challenges associated with international marketing research. So this happened mainly due to the differences in the levels of economic development between countries. In some countries, it can be really hard to acquire both primary and secondary data due to insufficient facilities, poor transportations, or unreliable postal services. So basically, companies will struggle a lot reaching out to a large enough sample group to gain accurate information. And it doesn't stop there, because organizations also need to overcome culture and language barriers. People in certain countries might enjoy giving away the information. Others, like me, not so much. So that can be quite a challenge. And last but not least, we need to discuss about the potential ethical issues associated with marketing research. And this is not something new. We are talking about intrusion on privacy, with the infamous examples being Facebook and Google's using cookies to track consumers' data and sell it away for third parties. That's pretty messed up. And finally is the misuse of research findings. So some marketers can deliberately misinterpret research findings to endorse products and push sales. And this can be extremely detrimental, not only for the researchers, but also for consumers.